Earlier this year, I was very, very sick. I went to the emergency department where I was diagnosed with sepsis. I also had a fungal brain infection. The medical team decided to consult with infectious disease. So one morning, while I was still in the emergency department, a man walks into my room. He is just wearing a soccer jersey, or for the rest of the world, he's wearing a football jersey. Go Manchester United, or Brazil, or your favorite team. Go, go. Anyways, he walks into my room and he does not introduce himself. He just kind of rambles off some things like, "While we're investigating your case and we'll get back to you later on what needs to be done." And he leaves. And I'm thinking, he might have been a doctor. I'm not sure. I was so out of it, I didn't care. I just rolled over and went back to sleep. The following day, I was finally up in a hospital room, and that day, the doctor was actually dressed appropriately, and I was able to identify him with his white coat that he was a doctor. Again, he still never introduced himself, but he mentioned infectious disease. Now, the wheels in my brain started turning, going, infectious disease, right. There's only one infectious disease doctor at this hospital, and he does not like me. This is probably, upon closer examination, this is that doctor. Oh. But I just tried to make the most of it. I was like, I hope he doesn't remember me, but I'm sure he did because he treated me like he remembered me. Anyways, he was very short with me and just said, well, we need to get you on the right medicine and I'll check with you tomorrow. And that was pretty much the end of our conversation. As I was replaying the events in my brain, I was going, what was my interaction with him previously? I knew it was bad, but I could not remember. As I was thinking and thinking, I was like, oh, right. In 2019, I came to the hospital because I was having trouble breathing. I figured I had pneumonia, and indeed I did have pneumonia. I was admitted to the hospital by my medicine team. They decided to consult the infectious disease doctor. This infectious disease doctor was working on my case. We did not agree on a lot of things. First of all, he told me, intravenous antibiotics cannot be administered at home. They are very, very dangerous. You cannot get those at home. You must go to a care facility and get those administered at this nursing care facility. I interject and I was like, oh, no, doctor. I've had this infection for a couple years now, and my doctors usually just send me home on intravenous medicine. I already have a PICC line, and they just order the intravenous medicine, and I infuse it in my PICC line. No worries. I've done it quite often. It's not a big deal. It's really quite safe. You can't really mess it up. The doctor did not like that response. And he was adamant, no, you cannot do IV antibiotics at home. They are very, very dangerous. You need to go to a skilled nursing facility to get those administered. Furthermore, it is extremely dangerous to be living at home with a tracheostomy tube and a ventilator. You should not be living at home. No. You need to be in a nursing home. That's where I'm going to send you. I'm going to send you to a nursing home. I was like, hey, doctor. I'm just going to let you know I've been living at home for 2 years. 2 years. And all my doctors are perfectly happy with me living at home. In fact, they recommend I live at home. I live with family. And they do not recommend I go to a nursing home. As an infectious disease doctor, you should know nursing homes are swimming with germs. And I will most likely get an infection there and die. I don't like to die, so I prefer not dying. I'm going to stay at home. Thank you very much. That did not please this infectious disease doctor. And that was pretty much the end of any sort of relationship we had. It basically escalated and got so bad, I just kind of saw myself out the door. If you know what that means, you know what that means. If you don't, I'm going to say my medical team didn't really know I was going to be discharging myself right out that door. So I went to another hospital. I was able to get the intravenous antibiotics, and I was able to get them delivered at home. I was able to infuse them at home, and I never had to go to a skilled nursing facility to get that medicine. But here we are. six years in the future, here's this doctor. And I'm going, great. They're giving me intravenous medication. I have no hope of getting this medicine at home. And furthermore, this doctor just does not like me living at home with a tracheostomy tube and ventilator, but I have been living there for another 6 years at home. So maybe he has changed his mind, or maybe not. So as time progressed, the other doctors on my team, I had 3 doctors, the other 2 doctors mentioned to me that I was going to need this intravenous medication and I was going to need 2 weeks of it. Furthermore, I was going to have to come into the infectious disease doctor's office to get it administered every single day. I tried to protest and say, hey, I don't think the doctor's office is open on Saturdays and Sundays, so that's not going to work. We're going to have to get it delivered to my home. Oh. And then they're like, oh, no. They have staff that comes in now on the weekends, and so they've taken care of that issue. So you can get your medicine 7 days a week in his office. And I was like, no, I mean, okay, yes. So I was trying really hard to be agreeable to everybody, and every idea that came my way, I was like, okay. I did get one doctor to agree with me to give me the medicine at home. He was like, okay, oh, you've done this medication thing at home, intravenous medication at home? And I said, yes, I have. It's really easy, really simple. And he's like, oh, okay, I think that's reasonable. There's really no reason you need to come here every day. You can do it at home. But then the next day he changed his mind and was like, no, you have to come into the infectious disease doctor's office. Now, during this time, the infectious disease doctor never mentioned me coming to his office, because remember, we have a good history. And I was just thinking, he probably does not want to see me 7 days a week, because the feeling is mutual. You know, if I don't have to see him and he doesn't see me, our lives would be better. So I kept hoping and praying. I was just praying to God. I was like, please let me get this medication at home, please. So a miracle happened. The infectious disease doctor, walks in on the day they thought they were going to be discharging me home. And he says, how do you get your TPN at home? And I said, I actually administer it myself, but I didn't tell him that because remember, he doesn't like me. So I said, oh, my mother, she's very talented. She helps me administer the TPN at home. And he's like, no. I mean, who dispenses it for you? Where do you get this from? And I said, oh, it's an infusion pharmacy. And I gave him the information. And then I said, oh, my mom, she's really, really talented. She can do intravenous medication. Just to let you know that. And he's like, that decision's not up to me. And I was like, oh, okay, who's it up to? And he says, well, if they decide it's safe for you to do at home, then that's what they're going to do. I was like, I don't know who we're talking about, but I felt very confident that things might be moving in the positive direction. So a little while later, I got a call from my infusion company, and they said, we have this prescription here for IV intravenous, this antifungal medication. We're just letting you know, we're setting up right now, and we're going to be shipping it to your home. We just need you to sign some forms. Can you sign some forms for us and then send them back to us? And I was like, great, yes, I can do that. Oh, I love it. No problem. So I was absolutely rejoicing, because I was thinking all the way back to 2019 how that entire fiasco happened, and it was bad. It was so bad. The infectious disease doctor and I did not get along very well at all. No, love was not in the air. No. And I just have always kind of replayed that memory kind of over and over, thinking, how could this have gone better? But during this hospital admission, I was just thinking, well, God works all things for good. And I truly believe, because we had that altercation back in 2019, the infectious disease doctor did not want to see me in his office. I truly believe that's really the motivating factor for him to allow me to do this intravenous medication at home, simply because he didn't want to see me. He didn't want to run into me. He didn't want to have any further interaction with me. And I was so grateful. And I thought, thank you, Lord. Oh, this is fantastic. So For 2 weeks, I did not have to run back and forth. The doctor's office is 45 minutes away from my home, and I did not have to go 45 minutes there, then wait, and the infusion takes an hour, and then wait, and then come back. That saved me a lot of time, a lot of time. And I was just profusely thanking God, saying, "Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that altercation so many years ago. I do appreciate that." So I just want to encourage you and inspire you. If anything bad has happened in the past, try to figure out how you can make it better in the future. But at the same time, remember, God's working everything for his glory and for his goodness. And he can take any bad thing and flip it for good in the future. So thank you so much for joining me. Please remember to like and subscribe down below. Please also remember to comment and share. It really helps my channel. I hope you have a great day and a wonderful week. Bye-bye.